Hey everybody, it's been a while. Like I said, I'm going to upload when I got stuff to say. Some real things. Today, we're going to talk about something that I think is important. And it's if you don't use it, you lose it. This is super relevant for anybody who has been victimized by workplace mobbing or gang stalking, who's going through it now, etc., etc. Now, I'm going to tell you what inspired my video. A couple of things. One was looking at a video recently from somebody who was being gang stalked and who went to the police complaining about all of the behaviors of the people in his community. He had proof and all kinds of things of people not letting him be. Now, I'm going to tell you something. People will do what they do as long as they can get away with it. All right? So here we go. You can't control the behavior of other people. Now, you can control your own behavior. We're fed this a lot in our society, right? So oftentimes it applies to situations where you're victimized and you're supposed to not get upset, not get angry, be cool as a cucumber and just basically kind of take it or go to the higher ups and have them supposedly help you, which oftentimes just doesn't happen. It's, until we start to realize that it's this very system that is designed this way to keep the little man under. You can't rise above. You can either survive the system, right? That's an option. You can, again, put your head down, your behind up, leave your integrity at the door, all right? And leave yourself, your core, at the door, all right? That's one way of approaching it. Or, you can reach out and, again, go to the higher ups, go to police officers, management, people in positions of so-called authority to try to help you through a situation. Chances are that's not going to work out very well. All right? Now, I'm going to hone it all in together, try to make sense of this. It's a very simple thing. If you don't use it, you lose it. You have to realize that you're the one who sets the tone. What that means is keep your instinct sharp. Don't leave yourself at the door. Come as the full package, as who you are. Use that instinct. If you don't like the fact that somebody keeps harassing you, all right, whether it be, it could be like really overt. If it's overt, it's easy to deal with. You could tell the person to stop behaving that way. Don't do that to me. But the covert stuff is harder, and admittedly so. The passive aggressive kind of incidents are very difficult to deal with because people will deny that they're happening, or they'll bait you into reacting and then say that you're a nut job or something's wrong with you. All right? So, this is it. You have an energy. All of us do. We have a power that sometimes we don't realize we have. Over time, all right, if you notice, like kids are so free, right? Until maybe they're about 4 or 5 years old. Kids speak freely. They are very honest for the most part, all right? And they'll say what's on their minds. They'll do things sometimes in public where it's like, wow, I wish I had the freedom to do that kind of stuff, right? We kind of lose that freedom. Society kind of like breeds it out of us, if you will, or tries to make us conform to whatever the norms are. Now, you have an individuality. If you don't use it, you lose it. And if you do use it, you keep it, and it's a wonderful thing. There's a cost to either choice that you make, however. See, I'm of the philosophy that I gotta use it. I don't want to lose it ever again. I lost it for a really long time. I felt like I was dead inside for a number of years, but I didn't die. I think I was asleep a little bit. But I'm awake now. And I know that I'm not popular, and that's okay. I'm not liked by a lot of people. But those who like me really like me. All right? And it's fair. Like most of the people that don't like me, I don't like anyways. And I own that. That's okay. All right? Now, the strength and energy that we all have within us that we tend to forget about is all based in boundaries. So if somebody's doing passive aggressive things to you, like say one of this person that I was listening intently to this video, I felt really bad for this guy. His neighbors were like slipping notes under his door, following him around, etc., etc. Now, let the people do what they want. That's okay. Let them slip. They're going to slip notes under your door and they're going to do all of these things. But you got to understand something. Until you take a stand, all right, they're going to continue to do this stuff. Do you think the police is going to help you out? I don't think so. They're often the perpetrators of these kinds of events. I can tell you that pretty much from my own experiences as well. All right? Don't have to get into too much detail for this point in time because I do have a bit of a full load to take care of. All right? But anyhow, I like the idea of being aware of my energy, knowing my boundaries, and knowing the moment somebody crosses a boundary to tell them to stop. And I'm getting better at it, you see, because the more you use it, the better you get at it. Now, I'm pretty proud of myself because also another inspiration for this video is that I ran into one of my former workplace mobbers. Yeah, grocery shopping could be interesting sometimes. So all of a sudden, I see this big toothy grin and this really awful person, very ugly person coming towards me. And I just looked and it's funny, it had absolutely no like effect on my soul because I know what they are. They're like projections. They're nothing, right? Like either they're very dumb and they went along with the crowd, so or either they lack integrity entirely, or they're narcissists. It's got to fit into one of those categories, pretty much. Or it's just a person who was asleep, kind of like I was, you know. And it's not like I'm not compassionate, that I don't, understand that this person has their own ball of wax and issues that they're dealing with. But that's not my problem. I'm an empath, but I'm not a codependent, and I'm not a sponge for their problems, right? I'm a guide. That's it. That's just who I am. Anyhow, so the person comes towards me, and my spouse was with me, and the person came towards me. Hey, how you doing? What's happening? Now, this person was an active participant in my mobbing, so I just looked at the person and said, I'm not interested. What do you mean you're not interested? I'm not interested. I wish you a good day, though. Nodded and kept shopping. I didn't look at what the reaction was. I literally went on my way, and that person just kind of melted away, right? My spouse was very proud of me but my spouse knows me. We're pretty much, very much in sync. We're very similar in terms of how we are. Now, you could say like that's not a big deal. Like, who cares that you did something like that? Well, I was really proud of myself, and I'll tell you, I haven't run into a lot of these people. I always wondered. I said, how should I react? And I didn't even have to think about it. It was pure instinct, and it felt very good to do so. Now, irrespective of this person's going to tell other people and what are they going to do, I don't really care. They really don't have any power over you. None. What can they do that they might, if they want to follow you around, like I said, you let them. If they confront you, just tell them, you're not interested and move on your merry way and live your life. So for now, that's it. And I'm not trying to make excuses when I say that. I really do, and I will write y'all back. I promise. I haven't done this in months. And it's not a question of arrogance. It's a question of need at this point. Part of the trade-off between owning yourself, all right, and being and becoming the individual that you really are and you were meant to be, there's a trade-off in this whole thing. Life becomes a little harder in other ways, all right, especially when it comes to making a living. All right, I'm working maybe, I'd say easily, twice as hard is kind of minimizing it. So I'd say I'm working maybe 3 times as hard as I did when I had a 9-to-5 job. But I can tell you this, I come home sometimes really tired, or sometimes even when I am working from home. By the end of my day, I'm pretty tired, but I feel so satisfied. All right. In terms of what I'm doing, I do it myself, my core, with love entirely. Again, it's quiet life. Solitude does not have to equal loneliness. When you start to own who you are, it feels really good. Anyhow, I really do wish you love, peace, a beautiful life, respect and self-respect and self-love. Foxy D signing off. I will be back. I'm going to try really hard. Again, it's cycles and waves, right? So anytime you're working for yourself, you're going to have busier times and slower times, okay? And it just is what it is. So it's a little bit of a busy time for me right now, but I really felt this from the core, all right? That I wanted to share this with you all and give a little light and peace to all of you good people out there. The bad ones, whatever. Do what you gotta do. But there's a few good ones out there. This is targeted to you. Love you all. Foxy D, signing off. Namaste.